And coming up on Joy News Prime, constituents of Mdina MP Francis Xavier Susu divided over the controversy surrounding his arrest. We'll hear from some of them who say the police are unfairly targeting their MP and others who want him to turn himself in.
So they should deal with it professionally, diplomatic way, not that to handle MP in such a way that when in the church, well, I don't know law about that. Then
police are in charge of ensuring adherence to the rules. The MP should submit himself to the police and listen to what they have to tell him.
Minority in Parliament warns it will resist any attempts by the Kufuor-led government to use the police to intimidate its members.
Serving a word of caution that they will meet the stiffest resistance if they attempt to put in practice this agenda.
The minority also accused the majority of undermining the authority of the Speaker following a statement issued by the majority caucus challenging the Speaker's decision in preventing the Mdina MP from assisting with police investigations.
The Speaker himself is being attacked now. The Speaker, how can we hold these pieces together?
Also in this package, Adenta Circuit Court issues a bench warrant for the arrest of former CEO of defunct Men's Gold, Nana Appiah Mensah, popularly known as Nam1, and two others for failing to appear in court over fraud charges. But his lawyers have served notice of challenging the decision.
Yes, we tend to challenge, of course. I mean, the judge has done a bit, and we also have other options to explore.
When can we expect that?
Very, very soon. Watch the space.
And coming up in business,
cocoa farmers to demonstrate against what they describe as unfair implementation of the pension scheme.
We'll never move from our farm gate to the market. And besides, we will not sell our cocoa to government. And also, the Farmers' Day, we will not attend to the program.
Charles Aite will bring you details, but this is Joy News Prime coming to you live from our Fanofa studios here at Kukumlele in Accra. We're live on DSTV, channel 421, Go TV, it's 144. This is the home of independent, fearless, credible, and impactful journalism. Stay tuned in. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Ernest Mdina. We begin from Mdina, where residents are divided as to who to throw their weight behind as the police continues a pursuit of their MP for allegedly destroying public property and blocking a highway. While some feel the police are unfairly targeting their MP, others want Mr. Susu to subject himself to police inquiry, especially since he's a lawyer. But ultimately, these residents believe the ongoing tussle has relegated the core problem, which is poor roads in the constituency, to the background. Kwekwa Santi has been speaking with some of them.
MP for Mdina, Francis Xavier Susu, is currently battling with the police as the police are on his heels to arrest him and have currently charged him at the court. They are expecting him to appear before the court on Monday. But we are here in the Mdina constituency. This is the people he represents. We want to take their views on all these. They did a demonstration about poor roads in the constituencies, which seems to have landed him in this trouble. So want to find out from them what they make of this controversy that is currently going on in the country. So let me start with this gentleman. So what are your own thoughts about all that is happening now? Do you think the police is treating your MP fairly?
Well, that is, I don't know about the law. Then I didn't know what he have done that he deserved to be in court. Probably our roads are not good. Actually, we have bad roads. So if there's something covering him, like law or something, at least there should be peace on it. Because when two elephants fight, the grass always suffers. So they should deal with it professionally, diplomatic way. Not that to handle MP in such a way that when in the church, well, I don't know law about that. Then police also bringing out some statement that they are not going to arrest him. It's a whole lot. So they need to handle it in the diplomatic way. That is it.
If what he has done is lawful, then this issue must be settled. However, if it's unlawful, then he must face the law. Because it seems they are only targeting him because he's in the opposition party.
He lawyer, so you know how to do about those cases.
What are your own thoughts on this? Do you think that the MP is behaving lawfully? Do you think that the police is treating him unfairly?
Well, like, no. So I am Raquanoda.
The police are in charge of ensuring adherence to the rules. The MP should submit himself to the police and listen to what they have to tell him. He's a lawyer. He would sure know how to maneuver his way around this.
I don't law way, no. Anyway, Suba, and yes, I best democracy in future, no. Democracy here now, yet in future, no, about to my fete, no. Until now, we want to democracy and want to 2 years in Bibianque.
What are your own thoughts about this?
Oh, the can't phone is I say Ghana no impuntu na yen yepe. Na se sunu so hen MP no. Ono so hen leader APN se nka gina ya no or parliament.
Sosu represents us in Parliament. If he realized there are few issues in the constituency and he led us in a demonstration, then he has done no wrong. But if during the demonstration a few things went wrong and the police have requested to talk to him, then he should avail himself. Because what happened at the church last Sunday was not proper.
Police for no faso, mama second or no faso. Because I know the SEC, I saw them. That's a police folk trust them with here.
Well, the minority in Parliament has served notice it will resist any attempt by the governing NPP to use the police service to cow its members into submission. This follows a statement issued by the Majority Caucus in Parliament describing the Speaker's handling of the police case involving the Mdina MP as troubling and undermining the rule of law. But the minority disagrees, alleging the executive arm of government is manipulating the NPP MPs to attack the Speaker. In an interview with John News' Kwesi Parker-Wilson, Tamale Central MP Murtala Mohammed said the posture of the Majority Caucus is embarrassing.
Who said that the immunity is an impunity?
The MP has erred on the side of law. Release him so that he assesses.
How did he err? By whose estimation? The police don't have the capacity. They don't have the capacity to determine who errs on the side of the law. The only body with that capacity and the expertise to determine whether someone has erred on the side of law is the courts.
But he should be held responsible and liable for the infractions.
On what basis? You see, do you listen to us? When we say he should be held responsible and liable, you are concluding that he committed a crime.
That's what the police is saying,
that he should be held responsible. The police don't have the capacity to determine who commits a crime. The only body, institution that has the capacity to determine whether a crime was indeed committed is the courts. That is the point. What we are simply asking the IGP to do, respect Article 117, Article 118, and Article 122. Respect them.
So now the MPP has issued a statement saying that it's troubling. In fact, it's called as
the level of hypocrisy of this MPP group in Parliament. You see, have you read that statement?
I've read the statement.
It is not even signed. It is not even signed.
You said the Majority Caucus.
I'm saying that it is not even.
I have sought clarity from the majority.
Who gave you
I have spoken to the Deputy Majority Whip.
And he says that it is coming from them.
Exactly.
That explains the level of the disaster of a state we live in under this government. That you have them who supported that decision. Mind you, this decision of the Speaker was taken weeks now. They never uttered a single word. You had a member of MPP, and I listened to that member on your station yesterday, who supported the position the Speaker has taken and the position of the NDC. So what has changed? What has suddenly changed? Because they have been called to the Flagstaff House. There is a design.
Oh,
yes. There is a design by this government.
That the executive is manipulating.
They are manipulating them. There is a design by... That is the fact. The executive is manipulating not just the caucus, even...
While speaking on the floor of the House, Deputy Minority Whip Ahmed Ibrahim accused the majority of betrayal. He also accused the majority leader of undermining the Speaker's authority.
The Speaker himself is being brought into the issue. And the Speaker, if we sit down and allow the Speaker of our Parliament, the leadership of our Parliament, the members of our Parliament, to be attacked or to be at loggerheads with other institutions, the Speaker, it will not help any other person. It's on that note that when we met this morning, we said enough of the tension. Enough of the perceived fight. Enough of the perceived institutional loggerheads. We must wait until Mr. Speaker himself comes. Then leadership, together with the National House of Chiefs, together with the Attorney General, and together with our colleagues, the Minister for Interior and the Minister for National Security, will meet and look at the way forward. That was the discussion that we had this morning. Mr. Speaker, I got here only to be given another press release, which seems to be pouring fire on the already existing fire. Mr. Speaker, we are already in opposition. We are ever ready to support our brothers on the other side to hold the peace together. Rather, if they in power or you in government, when we are ready to support you, you are not ready for the support. We have agreement. Let's hold on the fire until Speaker comes. And rather, Mr. Speaker himself is being attacked now. Mr. Speaker, how can we hold these pieces together? But I still want to re-emphasize that even though the Right Honorable Speaker is not there, you are here as the Speaker presiding over the House. Earlier we came together to support you, to support state institutions to discharge their functions, support members of Parliament to support their functions. The better for both sides, the better for you and I. On that note, Mr. Speaker, I still want to re-emphasize and call on my honorable colleagues that after this, even though it's unfortunate, to err is human.
But the Deputy Majority Leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, disagrees. He explained that the intent of the statement was to remind the House of the existing protocol in dealing with matters like this.
It's a matter that I think that collectively we can manage and avoid unnecessary escalation. Mr. Speaker, I need to put on record that this won't be the first, neither would it be the last. I recall in days in opposition, our law firm had issues with GRA. I recall the intervention made by Honorable Dominic Ayini, the then Deputy Attorney General, in drawing attention to the authorities that they should follow due process. These were behind-the-scenes engagement. I was taken aback when Sosu's matter got out of hand. He's been a very respected friend, and we engaged each other and we were trying to direct him on a certain path that will not get everybody in. But be that as it may, what is out there is out there. I believe the essence of Honorable Ahmed's position is for us to keep calm and avoid further getting the matter out of hand. On our side, I believe that he made reference to a statement. I believe that that was before we came to this conclusion on the way to go. But the essence of the position taken earlier was not in any way to undermine the authority of Mr. Speaker. No, not at all.
Let's go to Parliament. Correspondent Kwesi Parker-Wilson joins us on Zoom with details of a statement issued by the minority. Parker, what does the statement say?
Well, so, Ernest, the minority has very strong worded statements in reaction or reacting to the statement put together by the majority of the House this morning. Now, SF says that the minority leadership notes with great consternation and disappointment the press statement by the majority leadership. The minority leadership considers the press statement as an attempt to undermine the authority of the Right Honourable Speaker, Aban Sumana Kingsford Babin, and weaken the institution of Parliament. It goes on to say that the majority leadership is being mischievous and disingenuous by ignoring the fact that the police refused to comply with the established process of dealing with matters affecting MPs by not first of all contacting the Speaker, who would have then made the necessary arrangement for them to meet the affected MP. And it's likely for us, we have a member of parliament here. He will be speaking to the statement. But Roxanne Nelson Dafemepo is here with me this evening. Honorable, quickly, why are you accusing the NPP of perhaps weakening the institution of parliament, sir?
Yes, thank you very much, and good evening to your viewers. First of all, the position of the minority regarding the statement issued this late morning by the majority, attacking, as it were, the decision by the Right Honorable Speaker to decline the request by police to release the Honorable Susu for questioning or to assist them in an investigation. We have tried to, by way of response, we have tried to set out the facts. Now, if the majority says that what they did this morning did not amount to undermining the speaker, how do they speak to paragraph 5 of their statement in question? And let me read out paragraph 5 of their statement. They wrote a litany, they made a litany of accusations. And by way of concluding on that litany of accusations, they said in paragraph 5, now the Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, Right Honorable Bagby, appears to be instituting new rules that seem to undermine the rule of law without any prior discussions with the leadership of the House. We ask, what exactly has changed?
First, only reminding the Speaker of emulating his predecessors.
No, Baka, no. Take a careful read of the paragraph I just read. They seek to suggest that the attempt by, or the decision by the Speaker to decline the request of the police was amounted to breach of law. That's their suggestion. Then they further say that if you would have engaged in that breach of law, you should have consulted us.
The leadership of the House.
Yes. So is it even the case that Parliament leadership engaged in breach of law? That is what they are suggesting. Or you are not gathering that from what they said. They said, what you have done minus our consultation amounts to a breach of law. And that if you were minded, you would have consulted us. So would a consultation with leadership not amount to a breach? So you see, what Speaker did not amount to a breach of any law. What did the Speaker do? Susu wrote to the police, and after several correspondence, they agreed to undertake the demonstrations on Monday.
We know the fact, but
then let's deal with
the substantive issue. So you have accused them of being disingenuous and
mischievous. Because Speaker has acted truly within the remit of the law. What did he do? He said, I am minded that at the time you were asking me to release Susu to assist you. They have never given the indication that they were arresting him. They said they wanted Speaker to release him to assist the police. Now, if you want somebody to assist you in investigations, and the person cannot be released on grounds of law, this shouldn't be a fight.
It appears the House is divided.
We are not divided.
You have taken the position, the NPP has taken the position.
We are not divided. Until this morning, they were with us. The majority members, a lot of them have spoken in support of what the Speaker did. Dramatically this morning, they brought this statement. And let the record reflect that this statement is coming ex post facto. Ex post facto. The fact that the police have gone to file criminal summons against Susu. What does that mean? There's no longer an issue of arrest.
Okay.
It means they are adopting an alternative in criminal prosecution, which is filing of criminal summons. So it's like a civil process. Now, it is the duty of the registrar of the court where the process has been filed. I have not cited it.
But have you checked whether the summons has been served on Mr. Su?
No, it's not been served.
It's not been served.
Okay, Parker.
It's not available.
It's not available.
Yes, it's on parliamentary duty. So it is not the duty of the registrar of the court where it has been filed through his bailiffs to locate the Honorable Susu and serve him.
Okay.
And the service of that process will also have to be in consonance with Article 117 thereabout. Indeed. So, and the proof of the service of that process will also not lie in the mouth of any policeman. It will lie in the mouth of a court officer who is called the bailiff. So the fact that Monday has been set for this matter to be gone into.
Very well. Parker, thank you very much for bringing us that interview with the Member of Parliament for South Diroxin Dafiame for speaking to the strongly worded statements issued by the minority on this issue. We'll bring you more later. Now, the Accra Region Police Command says it has called for the docket on this case of assault of a businessman allegedly assaulted by military officers on September 22. The businessman Victor Apreku is alleging that the armed men raided his home, assaulted him, and made away with some valuables. This morning, the following report.
The pain from the events of September 22 is still fresh in his mind.
Suddenly, before I would see, a man came into the room. I don't know where he's from. I don't know him. I don't have any contact with him. Before I would see, he has jumped the house wall with this kind of metals on the wall and come to the door. But then I've opened the door, the main door to the hall a little bit so that I can be going out and in and out. Before I would see, he has jumped the wall, opened that door, and he was standing in the wall, in the hall. So I was like, who are you? Then suddenly, before I was, then he came and hooked me, began to beat me. He was wearing military dress. Began to beat me. What's wrong? What's wrong? He said, I have to pay rent. I said, what rent?
He, however, says he does not owe the landlord.
Because, one, there was no case of emergency that military should jump a wall, a high wall, and enter the house, break the door, and enter and come and beat me and arrest me. They don't have that right. And if yes, what have I done for a military to come into the house? Three, they were allowed by the investigator who is investigating the case. Because when I went there, the first question he asked the military people was that, where is the suspect? So it means he knew that that's what they are coming to do in the house, and he allowed them. And he has also refused to, as it should be, record their name immediately, that they brought me to the police station so that it's official. He has refused also to do that. So I question him that I want to know the names of the military who arrested me from house forcefully and brought me to the police station. He has refused to give me that.
He's yet to hear from the police since the matter was reported, but the Accra Region Police has told Joy News it will get to the bottom of it. And still on issues of abuse here in Ghana, 5 Ghanaian nationals are demanding the prosecution of 3 soldiers whom they say assaulted them over allegations they had stolen a laptop. Now, they have sued government at the ECOWAS Court of Justice alleging human rights violation. They are boys who range between the ages of 13 to 16 years when the alleged violations occurred in June 2018. The mother of one of the boys is also part of this action, bringing the number of those behind this to 5. They say they were woken up from their sleep and picked up from their respective houses by some soldiers of the Ghana Armed Forces stationed at the Liberation Barracks in Sunyani. Their story was told in the Joy News documentary, As If Weren't Human, tackling unsolved police and military brutalities. Listen to how they recounted the ordeal.
On June 24, 2018, 4 children in Sunyani were brutalized by the military for allegedly stealing a computer. The children said although they maintained their innocence, they were tortured to confess to a crime they did not commit. What do you feel?
30.
Kwesi, a name I altered to protect his identity, is emotional. Recollecting treatment meted out to him is painful.
Woman, a boy meeting ma, a meeting woman near you know what they fear, woman na second daddy no what they fear na tig dear. Now with the boy or maybe meeting no dear you woman boom a
Ghana's Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice in December 2019 asked the 3 soldiers accused of brutalizing the 4 minors to pay compensation to the victims. The soldiers were also to face disciplinary action from the Ghana Armed Forces. Parents of the 4 boys say they have since received 10,000 each from the military. They however claimed that none of the soldiers responsible for this incident has been prosecuted. Now, Edmund Foley is the programs manager of the Institute for Human Rights and Development in Africa, and he joins us via Zoom. Mr. Foley, thank you for joining us here on Joy News Prime. Why have you taken this to the ECOWAS court when you have not explored the options here in Ghana?
Thank you very much. Good evening to you and all our listeners. Now, as citizens of ECOWAS, we have the capacity as individuals as well as organizations to approach the ECOWAS court directly without having to go through our national court systems. And it's all part of the work towards strengthening the sub-region and strengthening the union among member states. And so we took the decision to approach the ECOWAS court, given that the court has jurisdiction or the authority to address issues of human rights violations occurring in member states. We've also gone to the court because, as you rightly said, yes, the boys have been paid some compensation.
Yeah.
But then under international human rights law, to the extent that the prosecution has not occurred, that the boys are still suffering from the trauma. And I personally was part of the team that subsequently interviewed them in preparation for this case, together with other colleagues from the Institute for Human Rights and Development in Africa. And the trauma is still continuing. The effects of, in our humble opinion, what they suffered as torture is still ongoing. And so until that is addressed, then they are still suffering those violations.
You're asking the court to order Ghana to prosecute the police officers. I'm wondering if you've checked with the AG's department, if this is before them, or even with the armed forces itself, if there are any such actions, intentions that are already underway, but perhaps delaying.
As far as we are concerned, and of course, if any prosecutorial action would have been taken, the families and the boys themselves would have been the principal complainants. And so in our interactions with the families and the children concerned, no such step has been taken as far as they are aware against the military officers concerned.
The legal question, I guess, for many will be, does ECOWAS have, within its purview, the authority to, as it were, direct any such prosecution here in Ghana?
Well, the ECOWAS court will not be directing prosecution, as it were, but it would be issuing a judgment if we are successful. ordering the Republic of Ghana to take steps to ensure that the officers are prosecuted. The reason being that Ghana is the signatory to those international treaties, and we have in our legal brief alleged violations of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Convention Against Torture, and of course the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Ghana is a state party to all these instruments. The ECOWAS Court in its previous rulings has exercised authority over these documents. And more importantly, the officers are public officers, and that's what draws the Republic into the equation. And so by asking Ghana to take steps to remedy the wrong that has been committed by its public officers, then it would be living up to its treaty obligations.
But asking Ghana to take steps to initiate such prosecution would amount to exactly the orders of Shraj, which was to the military to ensure that they face disciplinary action. And so why not begin from home?
Rightly so. That to the extent that the orders of Shraj have not fully been complied with, the entry point for the ECOWAS Court and for us in human rights litigation is to establish that presently there is an ongoing violation since the boys have not fully received justice in the form of prosecution. And we have alleged, and made cogent arguments in our brief demonstrating how the failure on the part of the state to ensure that these orders are obeyed in and of itself constitutes a human rights violation.
Very well. Thank you very much. Edmund Foley is the Programs Manager of the Institute for Human Rights and Development in Africa. This is John News Prime with me, Ernest Mino. Still to come in business, cocoa farmers to demonstrate against what they describe as unfair implementation of pension scheme.
Never move from our farm gate to the market. And besides, we will not sell our cocoa to government. And also, the farmers, we will not attend to the program.
We have details of this and more after the break. Please stay with us.
Welcome to Business. I'm Charles Aite. The Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association has planned a mass demonstration on December 1 to protest what they call unfair implementation of the Cocoa Farmers Pension Scheme. Now, the scheme is being rolled out on a pilot basis starting from New Dubuasim in the Ashanti region, but the association is unhappy with the composition of the Board of Trustees of the Cocoa Farmers Pension Scheme. We have more in this report.
The Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association is made up of farmer groups in 47 communities, smallholder cocoa farmers and cooperatives. The association is not enthused with the rollout of the pension scheme starting from New Edubiase. Stevenson Ananibuaten is president of NACOFA.
Cocoa Board was mandated to establish a pension scheme for cocoa farmers. They refused, neglected, and omitted to do it. At the end of the day, we heard the thing is going to be established or implemented in a pilot basis, which was very sad to our heart. Cocoa is at the Seshi and Ahafo region. Why do you start it from New Edubiase, where palm plantation has been doing there? We are going to demonstrate. And from the beginning, 1st of December, our foodstuffs we produce from our farms will never move from our farm gate to the market. And besides, we will not sell our cocoa to government. And also, the farmers, we will not attend to the program.
The farmers are also unhappy with their inability to access free medical care in cocoa clinics, while staff of Cocoa Board enjoy free medical care. The association has proposed bonuses and premiums of farmers be used to cover costs to NHIS as farmers' mutual health care. Some cocoa farmers who spoke to Joy News are much concerned about their health care. As old as I am, my health insurance does not cover my drugs.
The Cocoa House is situated in Accra. It is only the staff of Cocoa Board who have access to free medical care at the cocoa clinics.
The farmers prefer services like mass spraying, pollination, pruning, fertilizer and extension officers to be based on support from cocoa-generated funds instead of common funds. They believe this will ensure constant cash flow.
We know that the pollination, pruning, mass spray and input supplies are from our sweat. I mean, it's the profit surplus that they reserve to supply us with that kind of inputs. So Cocoa cannot tell us there is that money that they used for our welfare, or they substitute that one for our welfare. At the end of the day, when they give us one bottle Akate Master, they expect us, I mean, it's about 8 people share.
Mona Lisa Frimpong reporting.
Now, peasant farmers in the Isuchari district of the Eastern region are calling on governments to help plant more commercial trees to tackle climate change in the country. According to them, deforestation is a major factor contributing to the negative impact of climate change on farming.
In the Isuchari district in the Eastern region are calling on government to help plant more commercial trees to tackle the issue of climate change in the country. According to these farmers, deforestation is a major factor to consider in climate change. They believe deforestation is causing unseasonal rains to destroy their farms. Planting more trees will go a long way to help them as farmers, they say. They made the call when Oxfam, in collaboration with peasant farmers in the Isuchari district, marched through town to add their voice to the UNCOP26 Climate Change Summit ongoing in Glasgow. Oxfam also believes that Ghana contributes little to climate change in the world, but its effects are global. And so the earlier Ghana adds her voice, the better. Farmers in an interview with Joy News had this to say.
I know government has some interventions that they raise. I think tree planting and other things. I will also suggest to government that it brings down, they get our forestry division to provide seedlings, not only tree crop seedlings, but also commercial trees, economic trees. Sometimes, especially this time, the intervention they are using is the coconut, that they can distribute freely to farmers who can plant around their homes, around their farm.
The farmers presented their petition to the Agric Extension Board in the Isuchari district. Ernest Kofi is the Assistant Chief Extension Officer. He accepted their petition on behalf of government.
Climate change does not only affect farmers, but everyone. We as extension officers have been teaching the farmers how to withstand these weather changes. We have received their petition and I will send it to the appropriate office.
Nana Nkansa Ajikum is the media and communication lead at Oxfam. She had this to say.
Climate change, na farmers and
Oxfam as an organization is committed to see farmers smile always. That is how come we are with them all the time. We want government to act as soon as possible and make a good decision that would benefit everyone.
Before we go, Jackpot Mobile Lottery 787 NLA has rewarded a timber merchant from the Eastern region 100,000 cedis in the just ended draw. Here's more.
My name is Paul Ohene. I've won a jackpot of 120,000 Ghana cedis. I'm very excited, and the jackpot is real. It's star 787. Everyone should patronize. It's very real. It's not fake. I'll advise everyone watching me to be part of it. It will turn your fortune around.
With star 787 Nash, every day is a winning day. This very Thursday, you stand a chance to win 2,000 Ghana cedis with only 3 tickets. Yes, only 3 tickets. This same ticket qualifies you for Saturday's big jackpot 100,000 Ghana cedis and a 20,000 Ghana cedis guaranteed unique prize. So what are you waiting for? Pick your phone now. Dial star 787 hash, follow the prompt, and then grab your ticket as less as 5 Ghana cedis, and you can stand a chance to take home a very big jackpot this very weekend.
And that'll be it for business. We have sports coming up. Just stay with us.
Many thanks for staying with us. Time to bring you sport. I am Hans Mensah, and Milovan Rajvac has defended his decision to name AS Roma starlet Felix Afenajan in his squad for the qualifiers against Ethiopia and South Africa. The maiden call-up for the youngster comes after an impressive start to the 2021-2022 season, which has seen him feature twice for AS Roma senior team against Cagliari and AC Milan, respectively. However, many football pundits believe, despite impressive qualities of Afena-Gyan, he needs time to develop. Raivac has justified Gyan's inclusion in the Ghana squad.
Fudbala u Gani, naročito ta pozicija, kad oni vide da mu daju šansu, zašto im mi ne bi dali šansu?
I believe that people from FC Roma and Mourinho is a famous coach. He's well known for his accomplishments in his career. If they are assured to give him chance, for example, last match he played against AC Milan for second half, and if they think that he's a very young player and he has prospect, definitely we can see according to his performance that he's definitely promising talent, so why shouldn't we be assured that he deserves a chance? I think he's definitely promising talent and he should be around here, and he should be the part of this squad, because we always have to look for the future and we have to establish quality players for our upcoming challenges.
Well, Felix Afena-Gyan was not the only player handed a debut Black Stars call-up. Sheriff Tiraspol midfielder Edmond Dado has also earned his first invitation. Let's check out the full complement of the 28-man squad named by Raivac, and goalkeepers Joseph Volokos of Swindon Town, Lawrence Atizigi of St. Gallen, Manaf Nuruddin of Eupen, and Richard Atta of Accra Hearts of Folk are the 4 men who have been called up to man the post for the Black Stars. Defenders are Andy Yadom of Reading FC, Philemon Bafo of Dreams FC, Baba Abdurrahman of Reading FC, Gideon Mensah of Bordeaux, Daniel Amate of Leicester City, Alexander Jiku of Strasbourg, Joseph Edu of Celta Vigo, Jonathan Mensah plays for Columbus Crew in the MLS, and Ismail Abdul Ganiyu of Kumasi. Asante Kodoko in midfield. Milok Raivac has opted for Baba Idrisu of Real Mallorca, Thomas Partey of Arsenal, Mubarak Wakasu makes a return to the team, Edmond Dado of Sheriff Tiraspol, and Mohamed Kudus of Ajax Amsterdam, and Daniel Kofitre of FC St. Pauli in Germany. Well, down the flanks, Ghana will be counting on Andre Diaye of Al Sadd. Jordan Ayew of Crystal Palace has been named as a winger. Abdul Fattah Issahaku of Dreams FC, Kamaldeen Suleiman of Rennes, and Samuel Owusu of Our Fire. An attack, Richmond Boachi Yadom scored 2 goals so far this season for Beta. Jerusalem, Benjamin Tete of Yeni, Malatyaspor, Felix Afena-Gyan of AS Roma, and Caleb Ekuban of Genoa. Well, Communications Director of the Ghana Football Association, Henry Asante-Chum, has been outlining Ghana's itinerary for the World Cup qualifiers against Ethiopia and South Africa.
We wanted, initially, we've been discussing with the ministry. We were thinking that because of jet lag and movement issues here and there, we wanted the players to arrive in South Africa straight from their respective base. But it is proving difficult because South Africa is not a country that issues visa on arrival. So it means you need to get your visa before you arrive in South Africa. So we've been collaborating with the High Commission in Accra. Fortunately, they've responded very well. All the players whose names appeared in the list, we will send their passport copies to the embassy by tomorrow. We've sent the initial one. We will follow up with the passport copies by tomorrow, and the visas will be issued on Monday when the players arrive physically, because they will start arriving from Sunday night through to Monday. When they arrive, we will pick all the passports and send to the embassy first thing on Tuesday morning. They've assured us that it will take about 1 to 2 hours to issue all the visas. Once the visas are issued, we will depart Accra in the afternoon of Tuesday, arrive in Johannesburg around 7 p.m. Obviously, the players will lodge into their hotel. We will do a shake-up in the morning, train in the afternoon on Wednesday, and play the match on Thursday.
And that'll be all for now. More sports later in the bulletin.
And ta-da, Noella's here with the latest in showbiz.
Yeah, that's right.
Hi, Noella. How are you doing?
Hi.
Looking good as always.
Thank you very much.
What's happening in the world of showbiz?
So let's begin with Honorable Marco Kwekumanti.
Oh yeah, he was back home today.
That's right. Once upon a time, he was the program's manager for Hits FM. He came back home today, like you rightly said. Had an a conversation, I beg your pardon, with Andy Dosty on the morning show, and they spoke at length on a number of things. Spoke about his achievements so far, the Beyond the Return initiative, how it's going to, pan out this December. Okay. But one of the things that struck me was a deal, government has brokered with the British High Commission to sort of train up-and-coming sound engineers and musicians, and let's hear him on that.
Yes, Honorable Minister, please try to help us, the up-and-coming artists. You are struggling to come out, please. We need your help.
Okay, that one, there's something that is coming up. So some of them, we have a deal with the British Council. Okay. To train the trainers. That's the concept. And so
when you say the trainers, who will be the trainers?
Okay, so they're going to say a new form of Zap Mallet or Richie or Kiwa. So they take them through some training. And then the idea is that they end up training other younger ones.
Okay.
So snowballing, kind of.
Right.
And so the British Council is investing into this. And very soon we're going to launch. And so,
is it going to be mainly producers?
No,
musicians.
Performance as well.
So that was the Honourable Deputy Tourism and Arts Minister, Marco Kwekumanti. Now, if you ask me how this is going to benefit the industry, I probably will have something to tell you, but I'm not an expert. I'm not even a musician. That's why we're going to be talking to legendary musician and chairman for Gamro, Rex Omar, who's joining us via Zoom. Rex, hi. I'm here with Ernest.
Hi.
Hello, Rex. Good evening.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Hi.
Right, so Uncle Rex, tell us, how is this going to benefit, the showbiz or the music industry here?
Thank you very much. I think the minister did not actually delve deep into, because I did not understand. British Council is not known to be an organization that trains sound engineers or musicians. But if he had said the British Music Academy or British something that has to do with music, perhaps would have been clearer. But obviously, yes, our industry needs technological transfer and training. But Mickey says they have a deal with the British Council to train the trainers. I think he should have explained it further. Because so far as I'm concerned, British Council does not train musicians or sound engineers, because they are not set up to do these kind of things. They can be a conduit to bring maybe some British professionals to train our people. So maybe he has to come clearer. Otherwise, I'll just call it a political talk.
Right. So by what you just said, do you mean
call it a political talk? Yes,
do you mean to say that the deal is not plausible?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you have said we have a deal through the British Council to bring in, let's say, the British Musicians Association or British Music Academy or some specific professional group that has to do with music to help train Ghanaian sound engineers and whatever, that would have been explanatory, But if you say British, we have a deal with British Council to train sound engineers and whatever, I mean, it's not clear. So me, as a politician, I will call it a political talk.
Well, Uncle Rex, is it not safe to assume that is what he meant? Is it not safe to assume that is what he meant, considering how the embassies generally operate here in Ghana?
I was not in his mind. I was not in his mind. So he should have made it clearer. So that's why I'm saying he should come again and explain to us. If he says you have a deal with the British Council to train sound engineers, and British Council, by their makeup, don't train musicians. And so I would want him to come and explain it clear. Otherwise, then somebody like me, I'll take it like a political talk.
So let's assume that maybe government would work with, a British music organization to train these up-and-coming youngins. Do you think going forward we should open our arms to such collaborations?
If he had said something like that, that would have been plausible, because obviously a technological transfer, their course, if they are going to help us to build our capacity to train the new generation of sound engineers and whatever, it is a course in the right direction. That's why I'm saying that the minister should come and explain it clearer, because the way he put it, it makes it difficult. It's a good something to do, but the way he said it, he should come and explain it clearer so that we can contribute meaningfully.
All right, Uncle Rex, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. We would have loved to engage you more, but time won't allow it. So thank you so much for joining us here. Right, so that was Chairman for Gamro, Rex Omar there. Of course, he's a politician. You should, expect him, things like that.
Exactly, but I'm sure that the Deputy Minister would explain
further,
subsequently
definitely.
When everything is cooked.
Definitely.
But generally, the embassies work with agencies, and so I'm sure we can expect some more in that direction.
Right.
I absolutely had fun. Thank you, and we have more stories for you here on Journey's Prime. Please don't go away. Many thanks for staying with us here on Joy News Prime. The Adenton Circuit Court has issued a bench warrant for the arrest of the former CEO of defunct Men's Gold, Nana Appiah Mensah, popularly known as Nam1, and 2 others after failing to appear in court over fraud charges. They have been charged with conspiracy to defraud by false pretenses. The court had ruled on Tuesday, November 2, for the 3 accused persons to appear before it Thursday, but they failed to honor the invitation. Their lawyer, Yao Dankwa, told the court his clients are unavailable.
What happened is that the police have filed a criminal summons, and they came to court for the court to issue a criminal summons, right, and with a charge sheet attached to my clients, who have never been arrested, they've never been cautioned, they don't know what offense they've committed, yet the police have come to court with 4 counts of charges against them, stemming from conspiracy to fraud to issuing a false check, right? Which the accused, the suspects are not aware of. But the criminal procedure Act, the Criminal Code, Act 30, clearly states in Section 60 of 2 ways by which one can bring either a suspect or an accused person to court. One is by criminal summons, right, where you have to come by way of an affidavit with the facts and evidence supporting the reason why you want them, to convince the court that the judge should issue that summons for you to serve the suspects in order for them to appear to answer to the complaint that had been received. The other one is where you physically arrest the suspects and then you caution them, and then you take their caution statement, and then you make a decision that, listen, they have, there's a case for them to answer. They've breached the law, or they've committed an offense, and then you bring them to court. But in this case, the police have done 2 things. They've issued a criminal summons as well as a charge sheet. So when we came to court on Tuesday, I draw my lady's attention to the fact that the people they are looking for are suspects. And my lady said, no, I have a charge sheet here, which means that they have been charged. So from there onwards, they are being referred to as as accused persons. And I informed the court that the accused persons their caution statement has not been taken. And in fact, they have not been cautioned.
Ghana Police Service is committed to collaborating on various fronts with the media in spite of previous aberrations. This, according to the police, will help safeguard the nation's security through effective modern-day policing. At a meeting with members of the media and the police asked for peaceful coexistence, considering the crucial role the media plays in the Ghanaian society. ACP Kwesi Fori, Director General, Public Affairs Directorate of the Ghana Police Service, addressed the media after a closed session.
The police-media relations have been that long, but it is the desire of the Inspector General of Police that at this time, at this hour, and thereon, we need a special relationship. It is his view that the media and the police have that symbiotic relationship. And that relationship has been there for ages. But during his time and that of his administration, we need to ensure that we place it as a higher level in terms of better collaboration, better interaction in spite of the friction that exists between the police and the media. It is not his intention to do anything that may mar the role of the media. That is not the argument. But the argument is for us to coexist and develop our country in peace and security.
Managing Director of the Daily Dispatch newspaper, Ben Epstein Jr., outlined some of the key issues put forward that the media wants to be addressed for better collaboration.
Important things that happened today was for the IG to rekindle the trust between the police and the media. In general, I'm sure this will not be a 9-day wonder. We've put our concerns to him. He's addressing it, and I think that one of the most important things will be the names of the police on their uniforms. Putting your name on your uniform is not like carrying a cement block. And I'm sure with subsequent meetings, we will ensure that the police protect us as and when they want to. All the fingers can be equal, but I think that if we play our part, we'll help the police to serve us better. One of the things is that definitely you have recalcitrant police persons. Once you have the name and you misbehave, I mean, if a media person does something wrong, does not mean that it's above the law. But if you cannot put your name on your uniform, that will stop a lot of people behaving in that way. And I think that I like this channel. And so for some of us, after 47 years, the only person we fear is God. And we know the IGP, if he doesn't do it, we'll take him on. But I trust he will do it.
Now, finance expert and Dean of Student Affairs at the University of Ghana, Professor Godfred Alufa-Bokpin, fears government's flagship free SHS policy will deepen the growing levels of inequality in the country. A report by Oxfam Ghana has revealed that Ghana is currently failing in a quest to minimize inequality, especially in areas of health and education. Reacting to the findings, Professor Bokpin said the situation may escalate due to the free SHS program. He explained to Joy News' Parkwesi Shandoff.
The understanding is that before free senior high school, access to education, affordability were issues. But now that it has been made free, the expectation is that you are likely to get people graduating from the senior high school, entering the tertiary institution from very low income level or practically with nothing. And chances are that they may have difficulty meeting their financial commitment at the tertiary level. So we expect that even now we have several encounters, but we expect that this may increase because of the effect that free senior high school would have. Positive though in terms of getting people from practically low income level through to the tertiary level, but then the challenge of meeting financial obligations at the tertiary level would then show up because there is no free.
Professor Bokpin also expressed displeasure at what he says is government's inability to deal decisively with unemployment in the country. In his view, the situation can be addressed if government creates a more friendly entrepreneurial ecosystem, particularly for the youth. Let's do some other stories now. The Ejisu municipality in the Ashanti region risks losing its wetlands to building construction project. According to the National Disaster Management Organization, the Ejisu stretch of the Kumasi-Accra Road could be exposed to flooding if the destruction of wetlands is not halted. Lab News' check revealed a private developer is filling wetlands with laterite in the night. Nana Ojima has the following report.
The wetland, which spans a vast area in the Ejisu municipality, is mainly used for rice cultivation. A private developer has been filling up the wetland with laterite, despite notice of stop work. A visit by the Municipal Security Council has revealed work done so far has disturbed the flow of water in the wetland. Municipal Chief Executive Samuel Frimpong says security arrangements will be reviewed to ensure protection of the area.
We agreed that our security people will ensure that
any driver that comes around will be arrested. And once that is done, the owner will also be apprehended. So that is what we are going to do. But in the interim, we have brought a bulldozer. We are going to ensure that all the sand will be heaped in front of the way so that there will be no way for them to bring additional sand. And then we'll be watching both day and night to ensure that whoever comes around is arrested. Planning people, and they tell me here is nature reserve. So whether you are a chief or whatever, that is not my concern. You cannot sell nature reserve. So this is nature reserve, period.
Meanwhile, the music has turned focus at ensuring protection of water bodies as part of efforts to deal with flooding in the area.
That we are not going to allow any individual to fill the waterways for his or her parochial interest. We want to protect nature reserves for posterity. So we have met here today together with all the committee members to ensure that we sound a caution to every individual to warn them that they should desist from doing this illegality. That's the more reason why we are here.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Ejoso.
Still in the Ashanti region, the Regional Police Command has held a memorial service in commemoration of 6 police officers who died during their line of duty. The service sought to celebrate these officers for their valor and dedication in service to the country. That's more in the following report.
The 6 officers, Corporal Esther Kija Jr., Lance Corporal Stephen Tremi, Chief Inspector Adolf Muche, Lance Corporal Agata Nananamin, General Corporal Alhassan Asari, and Lance Corporal Bernard Entry died last year in the line of duty. 3 of these officers were killed by robbers, with the remaining dying as a result of a motor and mining pit accidents. Ashanti Regional Chaplain of Ghana Police Service, Chief Superintendent Very Reverend Jonas Samuel Abuaji, disclosed the police is not perturbed by the unfortunate demise of their colleagues, as they have vowed to be custodians of the country's security. He has, however, admonished the general public to be friends of the police and aid them in ridding communities of miscreants by providing information leading to the arrest of suspects.
Well, it is very, very worrisome to see our personnel dying at the hands of robbers. We are to protect the country, and the risky nature of our work exposes us to these accidents. We are not perturbed by such death. We vowed to protect the security of this country. It doesn't discourage us. So we'll continue to offer our best. But we seek the support of the whole country. We have always been saying that security is a shared responsibility.
Very Reverend Abuaji further indicated the police pay regular visits to the bereaved family to console them.
We'll stay with the police administration because they are promising to increase police presence on the country's roads as a step to address the high carnage on the roads. Director General of the Police, Motor Traffic and Transport Department, DCOP Francis Abuaji Nyako, says the service will also enforce the 2-driver regime for long-distance trips. This comes as 28 people were killed in 3 separate accidents in 3 days in the Ashanti region. My Interior has more in the following report.
2,162 people were killed between January and September through road crashes. The Ashanti region has recorded 467 deaths from the beginning of January. The region in the last 3 days has recorded 28 deaths in 3 separate accidents at Abofo, Akumadan and Etmetim. Ashanti Regional Police Commander DCOP Kwesi Afobwachi Yadom wants the carnage to end. His deputy represented him at a 2-day training for police and DVLA accident investigators.
It is worrying to know that the Ashanti region have been tagged as the #1 region when it comes to leading of road traffic accidents. Statistics available show that from January 2021 to date, a total of 2,734 accident cases have been reported. Out of this number, 467 deaths has also been recorded. The situation is very alarming and need concerted efforts to combat this trend.
The police MTTD blames drivers for most of the accidents, which they say are avoidable. DCOP Abuajinyako is the Director General of the police MTTD. He says the police will commit to deploy more men on the roads.
We are highly concerned, and we are not only concerned as MTTD. The other stakeholders and the stakeholders involved in making sure that sanity is brought on our roads, the roads, National Road Safety Authority, the DVLA, and the police are highly concerned about it. It is a bit worrying. But what we have realized is that mostly the drivers, some of them are a bit reckless. When they can't see their front, they try to overtake. At times when some are tired, instead of them parking for some period to continue, you see them managing to get to their destination. Well, the police have put in contingency plans, try to increase highway patrols, and make sure there's visibility all over town. We are doing it. Christmas is coming, and it's going to go beyond Christmas.
Mr. Abuajinyako announced the enforcement of a two-driver regime, which compels vehicles traveling long distances to be manned by two drivers. According to him, recalcitrant drivers and vehicle owners face prosecution.
This system is already in place. The GPR2, the Pro Tour, they are aware of this system. That those going on long journeys, you have about two drivers. So when one is tired, one should take over. So those who don't comply are the recalcitrant ones. Valuable lives being lost, I think it's worrying. We've started all over, we've sent signals around. The two drivers regime is in place. We'll make sure that we enforce that at least the two drivers regime is sustained.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohimi Interior reporting.
Some households in Ghana have over the years been struggling with cases of robbery. Fortunately, a graduate of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has developed a security system which sends signals to your phone to alert you of an attempted burglary in your home. On Tech Thursday, Love FM's Emmanuel Bright Kweku has been engaging the developer and CEO of Tech Device Hub Limited, Stephen Frimpong, on this new security system.
Ordinarily, burglar-proofs are designed to be secure and to frustrate any attempted burglary in your home. What if we had a burglar-proof device that could send you a cue through a mobile phone call that there has been an attempted burglary in your home? So let's find out how smart security system works.
My name is Stephen Frimpong, the CEO of Tech Device Hub Limited. We've realized systems in Ghana here are not the best fit for our part of the world. They are all imported systems because you'd buy a similar system and then it will need internet to report. Meanwhile, that is not the case over here because we don't rely a lot on internet. So these kind of stuff motivated us to build systems that are the best fit for our environment.
So what motivated you to develop this idea?
Most people have CCTV cameras in their homes. But then there was this article I was reading of some guy whose house has been looted. He has a CCTV footage of those people, but up till now, the people have not been found. So we decided to come up with a system that when the people are in action, when they open your door or when they enter your house, it detects them so that you are able to see them in action, and then it scares them away with an alarm. So this one, aside you seeing them in action, it also prompt people around with an alarm to scare them away.
So, Stephen, we want to know, how does this system work?
The smart security system is designed to check your doors and your windows, as well as your house. What it does is, it is designed to detect intruders. It has its own way of detecting intruders, and it's able to detect inmates or people in the house with a card. So when someone enters your house or someone opens your door, it checks whether the person stays in the house with the card. So if it doesn't see any card, then it identifies that person as an intruder. Hence, it reports to you wherever you are on your phone via a call and SMS, as well as sounding or triggering a very loud alarm, which is 120 decibel, to inform people around that there is an intruder in your house. So this is how the system calls you when it detects an intruder in your house. It calls you to inform you that there is an intruder in your house so that you can go and check. If you have a CCTV camera, you look into it and then you see what's happening. In the near future, we believe these systems should be employed for shops. Come to talk of shops in Kejetia, Edum, Makola, households, and then all places and facilities that need security. Come to talk of even factories, in order to improve the security. It is also intended to be used especially outside Ghana too, because one of the big problems it is solving is being able to report to you with or without internet, which is a game changer.
My name is Dr. Enya Amezaha Malojo. I'm the patron for Tech Device. We all agree that for them to move forward, we need a support. We have some individuals who even put at our disposal their properties that if funding is made available, we can use their lands and as security. So at the moment, I think that these guys, they have developed enough devices, whether it's fire. I think you have seen what they have presented already. And we are looking forward that people who have the resources to support us, we can move forward. We are talking about unemployment, but at least we are here to employ a lot of people, provided we have the finance.
Now, there have been controversies after the Ghana Police Service requested the Mdina MP Francis Xavier Susu to appear before them for interrogation. On State of Play, a politically incorrect show on our social media platforms, we asked if MPs are above the law. Our participant wants the MP to submit himself for interrogation because they say members of parliament are not above the law. Evans Mensah and Winston Amwa agrees with the police's decision of going to the Supreme Court.
It's obvious. State leaders or members of parliament are not above the law. There are proceedings and the law provides stipulations as to what should be done and what should not be done. So I think that in this particular instance, the police did the right thing by writing to the parliament. But guys, what I don't know about is, did the law provide any particular article or clause that the speaker can reject the letter that the police write to them? Because for me, if we are going to stand on that, then I think time to come, they will make that precedence. And then anytime the police writes to the speaker for interrogations of members of parliament and everything, they will just decline and use their own prerogative of the law. But I think that is not a big deal. He should just submit himself for interrogation, so that if he thinks it's not a big deal like that, things will move on smoothly, rather than pulling along, going about here and there.
And the police have said they want to go to the Supreme Court. I think they should. Yeah. And I think the Supreme Court should seize your moment, not only to declare, simply say they can or cannot be arrested and what circumstance there is, but clearly spell out and in greater detail these circumstances under which this could happen. This could be settled at the Supreme Court, and we encourage that to happen.
Exactly. I mean, I agree with you. I think that the police has indicated they want to try this at the Supreme Court. They want interpretation. I think the police should just do that. Professor Abuchi was making the same point this morning on the Super Morning Show. Go to court, get the interpretation, and come make similar points.
Yeah. State of Play comes your way at 2:30 every Thursday on our social media handles. Joy News, Joy FM, please join us. And you're watching Joy News Prime with me, Mdina. We're taking a break. When we return, Charles Aite will bring you some more business news.
You're welcome to business. The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, is appealing to government not to reverse the policy on the 50% reduction on the benchmark value in the 2022 National Budget Statement. According to Dr. Joseph Obeng, businesses are in serious distress and finding it difficult to operate. Hence, any attempt to reverse the policy will spell doom for doing business in Ghana, especially within the trading community. The GUTA president spoke earlier on the marketplace.
Once they are not going to be able to reduce the duty rate, then there's nothing that they can also do on the discount that they've given to us, because this is the only mitigating factor for businesses to survive at this time, especially in the wake of COVID. We are surviving because of this, the benchmark reduction, and we cannot contain any further cost, additional layer of cost of doing business. Especially when this year also saw introduction of new taxes. We cannot take it any longer, because the world commodity prices have gone up astronomically high, freight charges have gone up, and then internally also the port charges and other levies have also gone up. So how can the final consumer even be able to absorb all these costs? Also for the trading community.
You have stated the fact that there isn't going to be any objection to the increase in sin taxes. And what other expectations do you have ahead of the budget reading?
Yeah, we have made our input into so many areas, especially the issues of interest rate, that government should do everything for the cost of borrowing to come down. And then for the taxes of these commodities that I was talking about, is due, we brought it because of some meetings that we've entered into, and then this issue also came up, that if those harmful materials got high duties, do we have problem? We said no, because it's going to help us fight diseases and all that. That's why we put that at the tail end of our request.
The Bank of Ghana is in the process of launching an automated consumer complaint management system for commercial banks in the country. Now, the chatbot, which is a technologically driven initiative, will allow the central bank to respond timely to the needs of bank customers and business partners. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Anderson, who's disclosed this to stakeholders in Accra, is hopeful that it will help boost consumer confidence in the banking industry.
Non-supervisory tools are ineffective in the supervision of digital financial services due to their dependence on digital technology, high frequency and dense data, fast transactions, complex and evolving systems. Consequently, the Bank of Ghana has invested in sub-tech tools to exercise effective oversight and supervision of digital financial services and reduce the burden of reporting for regulated entities. An online reporting analytics surveillance system, ORAS, has been set up to facilitate submission and improve analysis of prudential and other regulatory returns. A complementary supervisory intelligence tool that accepts granular data which are analyzed for patterns and trends, timely-based policy interventions is also on board. An additional chatbot project, which is an automated consumer complaints management system, is also in the offing and will help address market conduct concerns. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important that regulations keep abreast with the rapid changes in the system without stifling innovation. The bank has adopted the regulatory and innovation sandbox approach to deal with this issue.
Now, the General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God Church, Reverend Professor Paul Frimpong Mansop, has urged the management of the rural banks in the country to abide by the regulations of the Bank of Ghana and Apex Bank in the operations. There is more in this report.
Corporate governance, non-performing loans, and regulatory lapses were some of the causes of the banking crisis, which led to a cleanup in 2017. The cleanup saw the revocation of licenses and consolidation of some indigenous banks. The General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God Church, Reverend Professor Paul Frimpong Manso, is therefore cautioning banking institutions to always abide by the regulations of the sector to avert future crises.
Whenever I see a bank, I think about our regulators, the Bank of Ghana, Apex Bank, and all those other people in our associations, like Association of Rural Bank and the rest. Let us try to play the games right. Let us not cut corners so that they will come on us and we will feel that things are not good. Next is the media. I have seen them to be makers and breakers. And I'm appealing with you, when you hear anything good about Federal Rural Bank, you don't need our permission to go on air and tell people. That's why you are there. But when you hear anything wrong, please make sure you have investigated and get the right story before you go out. Because one statement can break and destroy everything that this company has brought in.
The board chair of Federal Rural Bank, Professor Richard Bani, explained that the bank would provide social intervention services aimed at promoting the growth of the local economy.
Our philosophy is not profit-based. This is a social intervention that we are doing. None of the shareholders takes a dime from the bank. Everything that we get will be plowed back into the community. We also have social responsibility policy where we support good causes. And during the pandemic, Federal donated PPEs worth 100,000 Ghana cedis to the Margaret Marquardt Hospital in Kandu. So that is the way we go, and that's the way we are going to go.
The executive chairman of the Fed Sky Group, Eric Kuto, said the bank would offer loans to micro, small and medium-scale enterprises at low interest rates. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News. Ho.
And of course, that'll be all for business, but we'll leave you with a summary of international business news, after which we do have sports. Do stay with us.
Thanks for joining me again for sports. I am Hans Mensah, and the former Black Stars coach CK Akono is demanding $300,000 from the Ghana FA for their decision to terminate his contract in September. The FA offered to pay $50,000, but Akono says he deserves $300,000 instead. General Secretary of the Ghana Football Association, Prosper Harrisonado, has told Joy Sports the association will meet Akono and his lawyers in the coming days.
No. What I can say is that
Relationship sometimes in this football, sometimes we part ways, and when we part ways, we sit down and then ensure that it doesn't become
an issue.
Yes, so we wrote to them. We wrote to the coach, and the lawyer wrote back to us. And currently, there's a meeting that we need to have. We fixed one date, it didn't come on. We fixed another which coincided with the Congress.
Yeah.
Yes. And so currently, we are liaising with the ministry so that we have the meeting. I'm sure early next week we'll have the meeting. And then, so we agree on a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's only one area that they have a different opinion. So that's what we'll sit around the table to look at. But outstanding payment, we all agree to it. Signing on fee, it's not a problem. It's only...
But a signing on fee has not been paid.
Yes, so that's why I'm saying that it's not a problem. Those ones, there's no discussion there. The discussion is around...
The arrest.
Yes, not the arrest. The arrest to the figure is known, so it's not a problem. Actually, if not because we wanted the meeting, those things something would have been paid by now. But we need to resolve where the 50,000 and the 300,000, that gap of 250.
Okay.
That's the only one.
Okay.
That's the only one we need to sit down and resolve.
So
we don't have huge challenges. It's those two.
So let me get a clarity. When he qualified us for the AFCON, he was supposed to be paid a certain package.
So I'm saying that everything in the contract.
Yes.
We don't have issues. The only issue is the departing. The
severance package?
Yes, the departing payment.
But isn't it $50,000?
That's what we said in our letter, and then the lawyer is saying 300. So you see, so that's that difference. That's the only one we'll sit down and look at. And then
what was in the contractual agreement? What was the clause? What did the clause say he will be paid if you decide to fire him?
Yes, so that's what I'm saying, that we think is
50,000.
And then they are saying that, okay, it should be 300. So we'll sit down as friends in the football, sporting community, we resolve it. But all the other things, we have no differences.
Now, Ghanaian bodybuilders are gearing up for this weekend's NPC William Bonner Classic. Joyce Porter, Asari Bediako has the rest of the story.
All roads lead to the Silverbird Cinema at the Accra Mall on Saturday, November 6th. It is the maiden edition of the William Bonner Classic. It is the first National Physique Committee event to be staged. The one-day bodybuilding event is organized in honor of William Bonner, a Ghanaian-born, Netherlands-based bodybuilder. He is a multiple world champion and a two-time Arnold Classic winner. Here is Victor Baden, coordinator of the event.
We're so fortunate to have William come. He knows the tricks of the trade. He knows where bodybuilding has taken him, and he thinks that it's time for him to give back. It's time for him to mentor our athletes, for them to get that professional, that professionalism in bodybuilding that they aspire to. So William has come in and he supported us to get the affiliation with the NPC, and the fraternity is expanding, it's growing. You know, this is what we want for the sport of bodybuilding. We have to expand. You know, so bodybuilding can get a proper recognition in terms of sports and organization. We've always said that bodybuilding is a big sport. I mean, over in Dubai now, where the Dubai Muscle Show is going on now, there is over 100,000 participants from around the globe. And this is the kind of event that William wants us to have here in Ghana.
Bodybuilders across the country are already looking forward to the NPC event.
Okay, we are looking up to this competition that coming up great with the more muscles to show on that day. That is on the 6th of November. We are coming up with a new different physique and different muscles to show Ghanaians and the whole world what we are capable of.
I have a new package also as well to show Ghanaians and to show my fans and to show the world what I'm capable of. Because being a champ, you need to motivate people and motivate yourself.
Winners of the event get the opportunity to participate in the International William Bonner Classic slated for December 12th in Amsterdam, Netherlands.
And that'll be all for sports. You can read more at myjoyonline.com/sport. I'm Hans Mensando. Many thanks for your time.
And that's it for Joy News Prime. Many thanks for your company. We have more stories when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I'm Ernest Mdina.